As Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas closes out its second season of a competition here in Las Vegas, the series' future is as bright as the lights on the Vegas Strip. The high-flying, high-speed, high-stakes world of Formula Off-Road is quickly becoming recognized as one of the most exciting forms of motorsports anywhere in the world, and you're about to see why. Welcome to Las Vegas, where winners and champions will be crowned in not the casinos, but right here on the grounds of MGM Resorts Village. I'm Brian Till, along with somebody who knows more about Formula Off-Road than anyone I know, Sean Sermony. You've been around for every race since the inception, Sean, and Taylor Snyder is with us down the pits. 16 rounds in 2014, 2 rounds here in Vegas.
That's right, Brian. Just a few nights ago was round number 1. That also included 2 heat races with a very exciting main event. It's 25 points for each race win here. 1 point, of course, for the fastest qualifier, and then there's 3 additional points for the most laps led.
And you can't stress enough, 25 points for the win, but those other ways you can gather points, that can make a difference in the championship. Talk about championship. It's Robbie Gordon who comes in with the championship lead, signified by that orange number panel, Sheldon Creed. And look at Abdali Lopez and Scotty Steele.
Well, Brian, Abdali Lopez, Scotty Steele, those 2 guys, those young men have been back and forth all year long. They are fighting right now for that 3rd place position. They want to be up on the podium at the end of the year, points-wise. They're going for everything they can here in this last round here on the Strip in Las Vegas.
This track is a little bit bigger than what we had last year, but not a lot bigger. A little shorter than Sand Sports. Very technical, very short straightaways. The track has put down a lot of rubber on it. It's very grippy. Cars are going to 2-wheel a lot tonight.
Well, you talk about the track layout here in the parking lot. Sean, we've got another crossover jump, which I love. Take us around the circuit.
Big crossover jump with a lot of excitement. You see him coming around the sweeper here, going into turn 5. You'll see our first jump in front of the big sweets. Going into turn 6, another huge jump in front of those main grandstands as they slow down, get back on the gas for the huge over-under jump. Keep in mind, folks, we do have, though, the Joker, Brian, but it's a little different this year. It's almost like an anti-Joker. It's a longer lap around the track. And each one of these drivers, they have to take that Joker 1 time for every segment of the race.
And that may change their strategy. Let's go to round number 15. This was the main event. EJ Viso starts from the pole up and over the crossover. Great layout, a competition caution, and for the first time that I can remember, Sean, 2 competition cautions in the main event here. You're right on board with Sheldon Creed.
That's right, 24 laps this main event, 2 competition cautions each lap. Oh, and you see as Creed gets around, Burt Jenner in that Gladiator tire truck, he gets into him as well.
Gavin Harlan slips by. This is looking out the back of Sheldon Creed's truck. I think Gavin got by because he hit him.
He did, I think he helped him around.
On board with Burt Jenner. And that was close. That was close. Now look up ahead here. You'll see EJ Viso. That's the leader. Hits the K-rail, that concrete barrier with the right front.
EJ Viso, we're going to grab another look from him in cab with EJ Viso. Boom! As he gets a good piece of that concrete K-rail. That ends his day right there. He blows that tire out immediately.
Well, it hands the lead to Robbie Gordon, who on the restart, up and over, out in front, and that is why Robbie Gordon leads this championship. He takes the checkered flag. He has taken advantage of others' mistakes all year long. There's a look at your finishers, the top 3. Gordon takes the victory. Keegan Kincaid. What about Burt Jenner? He was excited.
Burt Jenner, so excited. The emotion with Burt Jenner being up on top of the podium. He had said later on after the race, he knew he had the speed and the ability to be up there and run with the best of them. To see him on top of that podium, it worked out great. Putting Burt all the way up in 6th place in points. Give us a rundown, Brian.
Well, Robbie Gordon, we talked about his good fortune. That's one of the reasons he's been up front. He's been consistent. He's extending his lead over Sheldon Creed. That battle for 3rd and 4th, though, Sean, it's intense.
The X Games gold medalist Abdali Lopez in multi-time 2014 podium finisher Scotty Steele. The 2 of those young men been back and forth all year long. They're battling for that 3rd place position for the overall points. They want to say, hey man, at the end of the year, I'm still on top of the podium. I'm finishing out in a high note. This upcoming race here is going to decide exactly what's going on as we get ready to go into Heat 1 of round 16.
Out in front, it's the number 19, EJ Viso. Right behind him, Sheldon Creed in his Traxxas, number 74. Then Keegan Kincaid in the 2nd of the Traxxas trucks. Recognize it as the blue one, up and over the jumps. The green flag has waved. We really kind of started, but they can't pass until they get to the start-finish line, which is the crossover jump. These guys already putting pressure on each other. Viso up and over. Here we go. Hold on.
As they go in, the biggest thing is for these guys, talked to him after practice earlier tonight, is getting over the jump, that's one thing. It's getting through that turn cleanly without spinning out. That's a whole other ball game. See EJ Viso running very smooth out front, as he has done all night long. Followed up right behind him, you see that red Traxxas truck. That is Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed's undoubtedly going to put a lot of pressure on Viso. He wants to get up front immediately. Right behind him, that is Keegan Kincaid. Young Gavin Harlan is in that number 55 yellow and black truck. And, of course, Dave Royce followed up right behind him.
And P.J. Jones in there as well. Intense group of drivers, especially when you throw in guys like P.J. Jones. But right now, the intensity's out in front. E.J. Viso, he's going to have to play that elongated joker at some point in time, and that completely changes the strategy. It's like we talked about, Sean. We've seen the joker in the past be shorter. This lengthens the lap, and it really kind of changes the way you look at it and how you use it. You want to build up a lead because you know you're going to have to give something up. Well,
that's exactly it. You know, the strategy with the joker lane is always very, very important. It plays a big game in what's going to happen at the end of the night. But this is a whole other ball game, and that strategy is to get around there, get a lead, get through that joker lane as soon as you can, or do you wait till later on in the race? We're going to see how it unfolds here. I know these guys talking to the drivers meeting have a few different ideas of what they're going to do to put themselves up front at the end of the night, but we're not going to know until this whole thing unfolds.
Talk about up front at the end of the night. It's Sheldon Creed who needs to get up front. You're right on board with it right now as he pressures E.J. Viso. Viso a little bit wide. Creed not afraid to lay a bumper on anybody. We've seen that throughout the season. Will he do it to E.J. Viso? Yeah, a little bumping and banging right there. He needs to get past it. He wants a good starting position for the final.
And look at right now, he's pulling up next to him as they go down that front stretch in front of those suites. And Creed's able to make that pass, leans on him a little bit, coming out of turn number 5, makes a nice clean pass as they go into our over-under section.
Sheldon Creed, Superman we've called him throughout his tenure here in Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas, because he is spectacular over the jumps. Not only does he travel a long way, he lands the truck really well, and that's important. Now, Sheldon Creed takes the joker. He gives up what he had gained. He gives the lead back to E.J. Viso, but Viso will have to take the joker at some point.
That's exactly it. Now, when we were talking about strategy earlier on and trying to maybe get a bit of a lead, well, Creed did get a bit of a lead. He got out front, pulled a few feet on him, and went for the joker lane immediately. I think that personally, that was probably a pretty smart move, because he knows EJ's going to have to do the same thing and give him an opportunity to get back out in front, hopefully stay in front of Viso as the race rolls out. But let's keep in mind that blue Traxxas truck, that's Keegan Kincaid. Keegan's been filling in all season long when Sheldon Creed is not able to be here at SST races and races for him. Well, during that time, Kincaid's got very, very fast. Oh, and Viso takes the joker lane, goes wide, allows another lead change, and puts Creed back out in front.
Well, and Sheldon Creed did exactly what he needed to do. He stayed close enough that when Viso took that joker, he was able to capitalize. But you talk about Keegan Kincaid running third in the blue Traxxas truck. This is different for him. All year long, it's been a bit different because of the pavement. He's an off-road guy, Sean, but he is really adapting to this pavement racing very, very well.
And Kincaid, you know, he's been out here, like I said, running for Creed, getting points for Creed, but now they're both here together. He's running for himself, and I can guarantee he's saying, hey, little buddy, I've gotten faster while driving your truck. I'm going to chase you down now.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be helping much now. Keegan Kincaid has to take the joker, and that's going to separate him a little bit from Sheldon Creed and E.J. Viso. He maintains third position. Right now, Sheldon Creed doing what he needs to do.
Sheldon Creed is now out there distancing his lead, which is a surprise. No, it's not a surprise, but we got somebody with E.J. Viso who is so talented and so great on the asphalt. You don't expect him maybe to pull such a lead like Sheldon is right now. I know we talked earlier in the day today, and Sheldon said, I'm not real big on the asphalt. I don't feel like I'm fast. I'd remind him, you've won every single round in Toronto for 2 years, yeah. And here he is doing the same thing.
The thing that's important here, though, is, yeah, he's leading, but you don't have to lead by much. You know there's a competition caution coming. Don't burn the truck down. Those Toyo tires, they're DOT street tires, so you can punish them, burn them up a little bit on this asphalt. He needs to make sure that he's got a truck for the second half.
And that's exactly it. As we get ready to come into the first competition caution, you see Creed holding very tight lines, just being smart, saying, hey, I don't want anybody by. The competition caution is now out, and that is now going to bunch the pack back up and get ready to go for the second portion of this race.
Sheldon Creed trying to hold on. Can the 16-year-old win the heat here in Vegas?
Speed Energy Formula Off-Road is brought to you by Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control. And by Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
Getting ready for the restart. This is heat number 1 of the final event of the 2014 season. Sheldon Creed leads us back to green. He needs to finish right where he's running right now, Sean. And he's been spectacular in the first part of this heat.
He has. He's been very smart about the Joker lane early on in the first part of the race. Well, keep in mind, now he is still getting a lot of pressure by EJ Vizo with that number 19 live truck. And you're going to have to take the Joker lap again. This will be the last and final time they need to take the Joker in this heat. But once again, strategy is going to play a huge point, especially for our top 3 drivers here.
And the competition caution really allowed the field to be bunched up. That brought Gavin Harlan, Dave Royce, PJ Jones up to the back of our leaders. But looks like they got a little tangled up in one of the hairpins, and that top 3's been separated a bit once again.
Yeah, he did. You know, there's been a lot of bumping and banging out here the last couple of rounds in Las Vegas here, right under the lights of the strip. Everyone's excited. You see a little bit of the hood of Keegan Kincaid's.
Whoa!
And over in the back right, it looks like Dave Royce. Looks like Dave Royce getting over on his lid, getting a little sideways off that jump right here in front of the main grandstand.
So we're gone yellow, obviously, with the truck over on its side. It was off of one of the metal ramps. And you see the Criterion.com cars, SST, Dave Royce in it. Let's take a look at the replay.
I can see him in the back, Brian. You can see him sliding over and on his lid there a little bit. Looks like he might have got into the K-rail, into the fence, Dave Royce. And it looks like behind him might have been PJ Jones involved as well. Looks like it was. You see Dave Royce pulling off right now. He is done for this heat race, so I believe we'll see him back for the main event if everything works well with him, the truck.
I think PJ Jones came over the jump and saw Royce there and had to check up. Now we're green again. Sheldon Creed out in front, but like we've been saying, he's going to have to take that Joker. And the Joker, the way it works today, it gives you a longer lap, so that's going to drop him back. Look at Keegan Kincaid. You're right on board with him, really putting the pressure and the bumper onto EJ Vizo in that live SST just in front.
You see Keegan there getting in there with him, pushing EJ Vizo around. You know, EJ Vizo, he has been extremely aggressive all year long with all the drivers out here on the track. So there's really no love lost between Keegan or any of the other drivers when it comes to EJ. He's very smooth, very fluid on the track. But EJ, he's going to move you out of the way too. And the other drivers will do the same thing right back to you. You see the hood of that blue Traxxas truck of Keegan Kincaid starting to come a little bit loose right now.
Shedding parts. Remember, EJ Vizo running second right now, an IndyCar star, a guy who has performed well in the open wheel series, but he has really taken to this Formula off-road, doing a great job, and what he's learned is that he can be so much more aggressive than he could be in the open wheel cars.
And
right
Creed
there,
taking the Joker right behind him, EJ Vizo.
Look at Sheldon Creed maintains the lead. If you're EJ Vizo, why did you go with him? Why wouldn't you try to build up a little bit of a lead before you gave it away? Because you gained nothing by going with him.
I did not expect to see that, Brian. Vizo was almost methodical with his planning on how he's going to run his race and what's going to happen there. And to see Creed take that Joker lane and Vizo do it right behind him and lose a spot to the other Traxxas driver of Keegan Kincaid. Vizo's thinking, man, where was my head at on that one? I've got 2 Traxxas trucks, very talented young drivers out in front of me, and that is Creed and Kincaid. Not easy catching up and passing these guys.
Well, no, I mean, for EJ Vizo, he's going to have to get past Keegan Kincaid, and Keegan Kincaid, I don't know, it's another Traxxas truck. Maybe he's going to protect his brethren in front just a little bit, but how much are you going to protect when you want to win?
You know, Kincaid was helping protect that truck and protect Creed's points earlier in the season when he was driving for Creed.
Is that gone now?
Right, that's all gone. That's out the window. Not only has Kincaid gotten faster and faster and faster in these Traxxas off-road trucks here, but now he's out there for himself. And now we're in the onboard there with Vizo. You see Vizo trying to catch back up with our leaders. Hard enough to catch them. Never mind get around them.
You can hook a big fish, but landing it in the boat is another thing, and that's what EJ Vizo's trying to do. He's trying to get on the back of Keegan Kincaid. Kincaid now with the Joker. Vizo gets by and didn't execute that one well at all. He does get into it with PJ Jones.
Drops all the way back to 5th place. Now, like you said, PJ Jones moves up, I believe, into the 3rd position. Back behind him is the 55 young man, Gavin Harlan. And now, all of a sudden, Kincaid goes from an opportunity to maybe win this heat. Now dropping all the way back in the pack here at around 5th place or so.
Sheldon Creed takes the white flag, 16 years old. You talked about Gavin Harlan. He's 15 years old. This young talent that's coming along is impressive. What does EJ Vizo have for Sheldon Creed right now? I don't think he has anything. We're on the final lap. Checkered flag should wave.
That's the thing, Brian, here with this Stadium Super Truck race. And what's worse, having an older guy like EJ Vizo with all the talent and experience in the world behind you, or having one of these 15, 16-year-old young guns putting all kinds of pressure on you? Never know what they're going to do. There's not an easy way around the track here in Stadium Super Truck Racing.
No, and that's what makes it so intense for Sheldon Creed. Up and over, Sheldon Creed wins heat number 1 in round 16. We'll be back to more from Vegas, the celebration, and don't forget, more racing coming your way. Champions are yet to be crowned. Welcome back to Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas from here in Vegas. A lot of gambling going on, but it would have been a pretty safe bet to put your money on Sheldon Creed in heat number 1 of round 16. He takes the victory over EJ Vizo. Great job, PJ Jones. Good run to third. Let's go down to the pits and hear from our winner.
Being second in points is going to affect my driving. You know, it's just, I think I'm just going to go all out. You know, there's not a whole lot to lose. You know, I can get second or I can get first. So I'm just going to go out and try to get up a win, and hopefully Robbie has some bad luck or something.
Heat number 1 was exciting. Heat number 2 did not disappoint either. You wouldn't expect it to with drivers like Robbie Gordon, especially with him starting up front.
Starting right up front. No inversion coming from qualifying to the heat, so we got some fast drivers, young and old, right up front, right off the bat. 4th driver in the serial, you talk about young, that is Travis Picoy in the black number 3, 13 years old, making his debut here in Stadium Super Trucks. Abdali Lopez with a problem. Makes a good decision though here, Sean. He makes the mistake down by the Joker, so he says, let's just get it out of the way right now. He says, hey, I'm this far back, let's get the Joker done right now and move up forward. That drops him back to 5th place.
He knows everybody else in front of him is going to have to take the Joker at some point in time, but he doesn't waste any time. Well, Travis Picoy, 13-year-old, welcome to the series. I'm going to kind of push you to the outside.
Abdali Lopez says, hey, I'm an X Games champion here. Sorry, young man, but I am coming through. As you see him apply some pressure right now to Scotty Steele in that discount tire truck as well. Same turn, same move, same pass. I'm moving on through, says Abdali.
He's rubbing a little bit more than maybe he needs to. Gets up on 2 wheels, does the bicycle right there. Scotty Steele fighting back. You see those drivers reaching down for that turning brake. That locks the rear tires and helps it spin a little bit. There's Scotty Steele with that turning brake.
Well, that's the thing we were saying in Heat 1, as they get off that jump, they got to make it around that corner. He gets that turning brake, but it also gives the opportunity for Abdali to get to the inside. All different forms of racing, you see drivers lean on one another. Well, Abdali will get up on 2 wheels and really lean right on you real hard, move you right out of the way.
Scotty Steele kind of returning the favor to Abdali Lopez a little bit. Lopez now putting the pressure on Bert Jenner. That's for 2nd place.
Oh, you see Jenner now. He's going around to take the Joker lane. He has a bit of a gap, but is he going to make it? And he does. He gets by Abdali, gets the Joker lane, and says, phew, as he wipes the sweat off his brow, holds his 2nd place position behind the speed energy of Robbie Gordon.
Got to be so impressed with Bert Jenner and his improvement. Running 2nd, really kind of close it down on Robbie Gordon out in front. He timed that Joker perfectly, but for Robbie Gordon, really never put a wheel wrong. He's looking for the checkered flag and the win here in heat number 2, and he takes it.
He does. He grabs the checkered flag, looking really comfortable. Not one mark on the truck. You see Robbie up first, followed by Jenner coming off a podium in round 15. Abdali Lopez and Scotty Steele. Abdali getting a couple more points on Scotty with that race for 3rd place in the overall points. The young man Travis Picoy and Bill Hines after that.
Like I said, I've got to be impressed with Bert Jenner. The heats have been one thing, but the final is coming up. Don't miss it. It's all come down to this. It is the 16th round of the 2014 season for Speed Energy Formula Off-Road, presented by Traxxas here in Las Vegas. The final coming up, and champions will be crowned. You want to win the race, but you want to win the championship. On the grid, EJ Vizo, Bert Jenner start up front. The first 2 rows have been inverted, Sean.
That's right, the first 2 rows inverted out of the heat races, which allows Vizo, as you mentioned, to be up front. Bert Jenner, Bert coming off a podium just a few days ago here in round 15. Very excited. You know he wants to be on top of that podium after that Sheldon Creed run on down through the list. We've got some young talent all the way down to 13 years of age. all the way up to, of course, Robbie Gordon, heat race number 2 winner.
Sheldon Creed starting right alongside Robbie Gordon. I'm sure he wishes he was a couple of spots in front. That would help his championship hopes. Replay XD onboard cameras. We'll start with number 4, Dave Royce at his CriterionCars.com. The number 3 of Travis Picoy, 13 years old.
There's the Scotty Steele, number 5. He is battling right now with Abdali Lopez for points.
And then Robbie Gordon in that very familiar bright orange Speed Energy truck. Sheldon Creed in his Traxxas SST, the number 74. And EJ Vizo, always exciting, and he'll be starting up front.
EJ Vizo, very, very exciting. Had a great battle with Sheldon Creed in heat race number 1. Looking to put himself up on top of the podium, running this tight track on the asphalt. This is a track where, you know, EJ Vizo should shine.
And this is it, Sean. This is it. This is the season right here. The final race. They'll start to accelerate here. They won't get the green and be able to pass until the crossover jump. And it's all on the line right here. You got to lay it all on the line. No better place to do it than right here in Las Vegas. The green flag waves, and EJ Vizo up and over the crossover. We're racing in the final.
And there we go. You see him now pilot. Can they get through this first turn under green without spinning out? Looks like our first group of guys getting through there without any problems. A lot of excitement from the front of the pack all the way to the back right now. We see Burt Jenner in that number 50 already trying to apply some pressure, but then Creed sticks it to the inside net. Red Traxxas number 74.
Sheldon Creed wasting no time to try to get to the front, but Burt Jenner, we talk about how improved he is. He holds on. Now Sheldon Creed, a little slow getting off that corner, but then that trademark jump, he gets it done in the air. Superman moving forward.
Superman Sheldon Creed coming out of 5 with a lot of speed, be able to get that pass on Jenner. Jenner gets a little bit wound up, makes a mistake, gets into the concrete barrier. Is he going to give Robbie Gordon that room on the inside here? No, he's not. He's trying to shut the door. Robbie's saying, hey, I'm going to be a gentleman. We've got a lot of laps left to go, 23, I believe. I'm going to give you that chance right now. I'm not going to spin you out just yet. As you see Jenner struggling right now to stay in front of Robbie Gordon.
I love that, just yet. I'm not going to do it just yet. Remember, 2 competition cautions here in the final. Jenner trying to hold on, but he keeps leaving that inside door open for Robbie Gordon, and if you do that, that's what's going to happen. Gordon picks up the position.
And he does. Robbie Gordon moves into that second place position. Robbie being patient with Jenner there, but looking up in front saying, well, now Sheldon Creed is just checking out on me right now. I got to make something happen. I got to move up. PJ Jones losing his hood. I didn't know what was happening there.
Me.
Coming over that big over-under double. PJ Jones, that terrible hearse truck, losing the hood. Very exciting here right off the bat for this final race of 2014.
Took my breath away. PJ Jones takes the Joker right there, so you're on board. Kind of starts to get loose. And as he comes to the crossover, he gets up in the air and it just departs the truck. That's not going to affect the way his truck is working right now. I'm sure for Abdali Lopez, who was right behind, it kind of took him by surprise.
Absolutely. Abdali, though, he's no stranger to losing hoods and body parts. You know, so it's to be expected here, but to have it actually coming at him in his face on that one, I'm sure that added to the excitement for Abdali's ride here this evening.
EJ Vizo up front being pressured by Sheldon Creed. These two have been here before in heat number 1, so they kind of know how each other drives, how the strategy played out before. Will they use that same chess game? We'll find out. Robbie Gordon now putting the pressure on Burt Jenner.
Now that's a lot of pressure. Burt Jenner, he's had opportunities to be on the podium many times. Never got a podium until just a few days ago here on this very same track. But now he's got Gordon behind him, putting a lot of pressure. He's looking in that rearview mirror. He's got that Outlaw LED light by Robbie Gordon shining in his rearview mirror as well. I'm sure that's not helping anything at all. See, Vizo up front takes the Joker. Sheldon Creed takes advantage in that situation, moves himself into the lead.
But then Sheldon Creed is going to have to take it. Robbie Gordon stays to the inside. Burt Jenner took the Joker there. Everybody has to take it in each of the 3 segments. So everybody's going to have to go through. You give, you take. You're going to have to make sure that you use the strategy, play it to your advantage.
That's right, Brian. 24 laps. Every 8 laps are going into a competition caution. They're using that Joker lane several times throughout this evening's main event here. A lot of strategy is going to come into play to see who's on top of the podium at the end of the night.
Standing room only here at MGM Resorts Village. And why not? It is exciting here in conjunction with SEMA's Specialty Equipment Market. Association, always in town here in Vegas this time of year. Manufacturers from all over the world, and it brings out an awesome fan base. And like I said, standing room only. The light bars are bright on Robbie Gordon's truck. So is the future of Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas. They'll run the first 3 rounds in Australia next year in conjunction with the Clipsal 500 V8 supercars, and that just shows how much this series is growing right now.
Very exciting stuff to go down under next year and start the season off. You see a battle right now.
Oh!
A lot of paint being swapped back and forth in between Creed and Bill Hines right there. Creed passes Hines going into the Joker, passes it again coming out. Keep it in mind, folks, Viso got by for the lead, and Hines is now lap traffic. So a lot of things happening there.
Wow, that is what is so exciting. You see the truck flying over the top. You ride with Sheldon Creed. He gets past Bill Hines on the way into the Joker. EJ Viso takes over the lead, and Sheldon Creed sliding back by Bill Hines at the exit.
Well, going over the big over-under jump, this excitement unravels. We got Abdali Lopez gets into Burt Jenner hard, spins both those competitors out. That's going to upset Burt. Jenner dropping all the way back to 11th place. Brian, that's not going to make him happy at all.
No, not at all. And it's Abdali Lopez who is showing the aggression here in Vegas. We talked about EJ Viso being an aggressive driver. I think Abdali Lopez has kind of taken over that ground for the weekend.
Absolutely. You know, especially when it gets out of the end of the season, there's really no love lost between any of these drivers. But we do have some that have been overly aggressive throughout the season. And right now, Abdali says, hey, man, we're in Las Vegas. I've already won 2 of the biggest races. I want to win this race here as well as we come into our competition yellow.
And EJ Viso has the lead, but for Sheldon Creed, he'll have 2 more segments to win this race and potentially the championship. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas. Time running out in the 2014 season. We're about to start segment 2 of 3 here in the main event for Sheldon Creed. He'll restart second. His championship hopes rely on him moving forward and winning this event.
But you see, they're getting ready to take the green flag here. They're going to come around to the big over-under jump. They got 8 laps until they go into the next competition caution. They will have to take one more time the Joker lane in here. Strategy still a huge part of the final round of 2014.
And these guys already leaning on each other up front. Sheldon Creed looks to the inside of EJ Viso. He gets tangled up in the hydro barrier, and that allows Viso to pull out a little bit. Abdali Lopez in that red, white, and green visitmexico.com truck grabs third from Robbie Gordon right behind in that bright orange Speed Energy Traxxas vehicle.
You got to think Robbie's looking at these young men up in front of him, thinking, what are you guys doing? As Sheldon Creed just drives directly into the barriers and right on through them as they move on by, giving Abdali an opportunity to move up closer to the front of the pack. Abdali, no slouch, already winning X Games this year, already winning Card Day in Indianapolis, 2 huge races. He wants to be on top of the podium at the end of the night here in Vegas.
Well, and for Abdali Lopez, I think he's been over there in Robbie Gordon's cooler drinking Speed Energy because he is jacked up. He is so aggressive this weekend. Really over the last couple of weekends, we've seen Sean not afraid to lay a bumper on anyone.
No, he's not. And now with the guys in front of him, we're looking at Sheldon Creed and EJ Viso. Both those guys are ready to swap paint at a moment's notice. We have got a race that's about to unravel here that's going to be undoubtedly one of the most exciting in 2014.
Well, here's the deal. EJ Viso wants to go out a winner here this season. He wants to win this race. Sheldon Creed has to win this race if he has any hope at all of winning the championship. Here they come into the Joker. Robbie Gordon decides to take it. Remember, once every segment, you've got to take that Joker. Keegan Kincaid picks up a position.
Now, keeping in mind, Kincaid picks up that position, but he's still looking to do the Joker yet as well. So hopefully, you know, Robbie Gordon's trying to strategize what he's doing here. Use that Joker earlier on in the second segment of 3 in this main event here. Moving himself up a little bit closer to the front of the pack. Once these other guys up front all take that Joker, Robbie's hoping to be up on top of the podium.
I would say that for Robbie Gordon, his hopes of winning a second championship are very strong. Keegan Kincaid kind of shuts him off as they come over the jump, pushes him to the inside. Gordon just needs to run. He needs to collect points. But when was the last time you ever knew Robbie Gordon collected points? Keegan Kincaid takes the Joker. Gordon picks the position back up.
So smart move earlier on, the lap earlier by Robbie Gordon does the Joker. Keegan does it the lap later. Robbie gets his spot back, and he's moving forward here. big thing is you see him landing off these jumps, especially Abdali Lopez landing so sideways off a couple of these jumps here, driving with such aggression, trying to move up through the pack. It's amazing how these DOT Toyo tires can put that kind of power to the ground, land so sideways, and keep moving forward.
Well, it really speaks to the strength of the tire. You think about it, the load that gets put on it, not only in cornering, but the landings like you talked about, and coming off the corners, you see the blue tire smoke, over 600 horsepower being applied to the ground. Right now, EJ Vizo doing a great job. There will be another competition caution. There will be another segment. You need to save a little bit for the end.
That's exactly it. You know, 24-lap main event here. Every 8 laps they go into comp caution. And they do that here with Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas to keep it exciting, to bunch it up. There's no need to let anyone run away with the race here, especially at the end of the year, at the end of season 2, right here on the Las Vegas Strip at the MGM Festival Village lot. It's got to be exciting all the way to the end. And I tell you, with this amount of drivers out here, with this much talent in these competition cautions, right down to the checkered flag, it's just mind-blowing. The amount of speed these guys are carrying, the amount of hang time they're getting in such a small area that it's just extremely exciting. And to see where we're going to be if Sheldon Creed can make it happen and maybe pull off a championship. Mathematically, I'm not sure if we're in a position for him to do that. Hopefully, Robbie Gordon's in the back doing the math right now, calculator probably in one of his hands, thinking, well, maybe I think I'm where I need to be.
Well, one thing for sure, Sheldon Creed has no shot at a championship if he cannot get past EJ Vizo. They've got lap trucks coming up. Vizo now takes the Joker. Creed to the inside, using that turning brake. He'll pick up the position. Sheldon Creed goes to the lead. Abdali Lopez just took the Joker as well. Gordon up to third.
A great race, like we said, a lot of strategy there so far. That is working right now for Sheldon Creed and for Gordon, doing it early on, watching everyone else have to take this Joker. It looks like right now was that EJ Vizo off to the side, had slowed up just a little bit there. I don't know if he got a little wide in that turn or what happened, but not getting the lap in that he wanted to this particular lap.
Sheldon Creed now working past Travis Picoy. Brand new driver, 13 years old. Man, he is being attacked right now, and Sheldon Creed has to be a little bit careful as Creed takes the Joker, and Vizo gets tied up with Travis Picoy.
Looks like EJ Vizo goes in there a little bit hot, knowing Creed's taking the Joker, saying, hey, I'm going to jump a lead on you right now. Hooks bumpers with the young man there, the number 3. Now they're stuck together. Here goes Vizo's hopes and dreams of winning this race are slowly going down the tubes right now.
Competition caution number 2 flies. Sheldon Creed right where he wants to be. That is out front, but right behind him is not what he wants to see. It's Robbie Gordon. EJ Vizo getting back underway, but here's the problem that he had. Creed took the Joker. Vizo tries to go inside Travis Picoy. Picoy doesn't know he's there.
Well, you know, looking at it, really didn't look like it was anyone's fault.
Sheldon Creed out in front has but one more segment in the 2014 season to claim a championship. Can he do it? We'll find out when we come back to Vegas. Back in Vegas, getting ready for the third and final restart for the final event of 2016 in front of a standing room only crowd, Sean.
That's right, Brian. Another sellout crowd here in Las Vegas, especially partnering up with people like Terrible Herbs to help us get butts in the seats here. They did a great job, and they got PJ Jones, son of Parnelli Jones, out here running that Terrible Herbs truck as well. Very exciting weekend for us here in Las Vegas.
Trucks getting back up to speed. The green flag will wave, and it does at the crossover. Sheldon Creed out in front doing everything that he needs to do. Unfortunately, his arch nemesis and the championship points leader, Robbie Gordon, right behind him in that Speed Energy Traxxas truck. Gordon putting the pressure on Creed. Everyone will have to take the Joker one more time in this final segment. You just saw Keegan Kincaid do it.
We see Creed's probably going to run a real tight race here. He doesn't want to let Gordon by, but you think Robbie Gordon, you know, he's going to say, all right, listen, I don't want to get in a full-on battle here with Creed. I don't want to take each other out. Right now, the way I sit, I think I got the championship wrapped up here. And all I got to do is just sit here, let him run his race. I'm going to run mine. Let's be smooth. Right now, they're already running away with it. You can tell 2 of the faster drivers in the series looking very comfortable. Meanwhile, there's like a small hurricane going on behind him. It's Abdali Lopez out of Baja, Mexico. Abdali says, you know what? I am here to upset all of your plans.
Oh, speaking of upset, Dave Royce has had a problem, and another truck upside down. It's Travis Picoy. Can't see the number,
Let's go to
but
a
we
replay.
get information that says it is. This is the crossover jump. They get together going up and over it, and that's where the problem comes in.
Not sure, nobody really wanted to give way, but nobody wanted to get on the gas to go over it. On board here with David Royce. You see him getting side by side and up.
Ouch.
Not sure. We'll see if we can get another angle at that. There we go, Brian.
PJ Jones, who kind of gets things stacked up, and then they can't get by. And if you're coming underneath the crossover when that's going on, that's a little uncomfortable. It was Burt Jenner that you saw, Travis Picoy, the 13-year-old, climbing out. Quite the initiation into Formula Off-Road.
I
Wave
guess
to the
so.
crowd.
I guess so, and I'm still kind of baffled how that happened exactly. Two trucks in one spot does not want to give way.
Well, the caution flies. We'll take a quick break from here in Las Vegas and be back. We'll find out if Sheldon Creed can claim a championship.
Speed Energy Formula Off-Road is brought to you by LasVegas.com. For all things Vegas, there's only one LasVegas.com. And by Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control.
Incident between Dave Royce and Travis Picoy has been cleaned up. It really shows how stout these trucks are, Sean.
These trucks are stout. They're just like the RC Traxxas trucks themselves. They take a licking and just keep on ticking. Let's get with Travis Picoy and get his take on the incident.
It was fun. I was running 6 for a little bit, but got a little hectic towards the end there. Got half sideways off the ramp and ended up rolling off the side of it. But I was all good. I walked away from it, and I can't wait to come back here next year.
That'd be great to see him come back. But you know what's going to be awesome? This is the run to the final race of the season, the run to the checker flag, the run to the championship. Sheldon Creed right where he needs to be, but you heard him say in the interview after Heat 1, needs a little bad luck for Robbie Gordon, because right now, Robbie Gordon will restart on the back bumper of Sheldon Creed to get the trucks up to speed through the final couple of corners. The green flag will wave at the crossover jump. It's the run to the championship.
That's right, and a lot of excitement going to be right up in front of the pack. As you said, you know, Creed, he wants to stay out front. He wants to finish on a high note, win this race here on the Strip in Las Vegas. But then you drop back, you got Abdali Lopez. Burt Jenner, who got spun out by Abdali earlier in the race, dropped all the way back to 11th place. He's now up here running in 4th. He's looking at a possibility for a podium finish.
He's banging into the back bumper of Abdali Lopez. Contact all the way around this racetrack. Don't forget the Joker. It has to be played one more time. It's strategy. You're going to have to decide when to use it. When will it work for you?
Or, Brian, when will it work against you? You see right now, the plastic water barrier infield, the track kind of getting moved around a little bit in that Joker lane area. It's the strategy is not just getting up in front of your competitors, but that's bottlenecking right there. We're having guys spin out, not enough room to get 2 trucks through. You really got to use a lot of thought and get really lucky.
Well, absolutely, and the racetrack changing. Not only is rubber being put down, not only is there debris, there's the barrier that you're talking about, how it's been pushed around. So that's going to change your run off of that corner. We've got some banners, a little bit of signage on the racetrack.
A little bit of signage on there as well. These Toyo tires getting the power to the ground and using their Toyo banner to get some extra power to the ground as well. As you see Keegan Kincaid trying to apply a little pressure there. Meanwhile, out in front, 3-wheel, it's a good feeling for Creed as he is leading right now, getting that power to the ground, saying, hey, I've only got a handful of laps left to go, and I might just be on the podium tonight.
Well, he's doing everything that he needs to do. From the time we got here in Vegas, Sheldon Creed's done everything he's needed to do. Unfortunately, so has Robbie Gordon. Gordon now takes the Joker. It's going to drop him back a little bit. Abdali Lopez does as well. Burt Jenner, Keegan Kincaid does not. Oh, Jenner with a problem.
Jenner spins around, running such a good race, dropping all the way back to 6th place when he was fighting for a podium position. Still a handful of laps left. Now you see Scotty Steele, the discount tire truck, get spun around as well. And that's what we were talking about earlier on. Now that section of the track is so narrowed up right there. You get a truck around. Now the Joker lap could help you, could hurt you, who knows? Only a handful of laps left to go, and everything's going to be decided. It's all on the line right here in Vegas.
Sheldon Creed with a handful of that turning brake, trying to extend his lead over Robbie Gordon so that when he takes the Joker, there it does. Oh, he played it perfectly. played it perfectly, got enough of a lead and said, now's the time. Took the Joker, got it out of the way, and comes out in front of Robbie Gordon.
Smart strategy by both of them. Robbie Gordon trying to swing it wide there and shut the door on Creed. At the last minute, he goes, oh, this is Sheldon Creed. He's not going to get off the gas and let me stay here. Sheldon staying on the skinny pedal on the right, blows right by him, allowing Gordon saying, hey, man, I got to back it down a little bit, and we're going to have ourselves a DNF, the two of us.
Well, and Robbie Gordon has won the races and the championships that he's won throughout his career by being smart, and he knows if he runs where he is right now, regardless of Sheldon Creed taking the checkered flag first, he'll still claim the championship. I'm not saying that Gordon is given up by any stretch of the imagination, but he's smart.
And there you see a great battle right now going on for third in between Abdali Lopez and Keegan Kincaid.
Lopez a little wide off the corner there in the background. Keegan Kincaid can't do anything with it, though. A little further back, Bert Jenner and E.J. Vizo have been having a good battle, but those two have no love lost between them. They've been rubbing fenders all year long, and coming down to the final laps here in the season, to see if anybody wants to make a statement.
Well, that's true, Brian, and it's not just Jenner and Vizo. It's been
everybody
Vizo and Steele. It's been Vizo and Kincaid. It's been Vizo and a lot of guys. Vizo. He's all over the track. He's super fast, super talented. But now with these...
Robbie Gordon. Oh, speaking of E.J. Vizo and Bert Jenner, Robbie Gordon getting aggressive, but look at this. Bert Jenner letting his feelings be known, and Robbie Gordon really in hard to the back of Sheldon Creed. 2 corners now. We said Robbie Gordon was not going to give up, and he did not. Sheldon Creed takes the victory. Gordon right behind him, and Bert Jenner and E.J. Vizo, I think, are still going at it.
Here we are on board right now with Vizo around Jenner into Harlan, gets him hard. Not sure where Jenner is in this picture right now. I know he moved Jenner out of the way. Not the first time we've seen it this year. Now, what happened? Jenner.
Bert Jenner is what happened.
Jenner comes over and says, hey, Gavin Harlan, I'll assist you there. And
on board with Bert Jenner, and Jenner's kind of locked up, and he sees Vizo just into the side of Gavin and says, you know what, enough is enough. I haven't liked what you've done all year long with that. Now Vizo returning the favor, and here we go.
This is 16 rounds of emotions and feelings all coming out right now at the last round. As we said, you know, Vizo has been very aggressive with a lot of drivers, and it's all coming out right here. All the emotions are flying on the strip here in Las Vegas for the last and final round of Speed Energy Formula Off-Road.
Bert Jenner not giving it up, but for Sheldon Creed, he does everything he needed to do. He takes the victory. He finishes in front of Robbie Gordon. Let's hear from our winner.
Sheldon Creed takes the win here at the finale of Stadium Super Trucks in Las Vegas. Sheldon, this has got to be an exciting moment. You've been a tough competitor all season long, and it's got to feel great to beat Robbie Gordon at his own game.
Yeah, I've started off a little bit of a rough season, but cleaned it up, and pumped to be on top at the end of the season and get the #1 spot. So pumped. Thank you, Traxxas, for putting me out here all season, and all the Stadium Super Truck guys, all the crew guys. Thank you to all you guys, and can't wait to next season.
Well, he ran the fastest name and radio control on his car, and he proved here in the finale to be the fastest driver on the track.
Well, he takes the victory, but the victory that got away from him was the championship. Robbie Gordon, consistent all year long. Sheldon Creed did everything that he could this weekend, but just not enough. And for the second year in a row, Robbie Gordon walks away with the Speed Energy Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas championship. Let's hear from our champion.
Robbie Gordon finishes second in Stadium Super Trucks here in Las Vegas. Robbie, the crowd was on their feet their entire time to watch this great battle go down between you and Sheldon.
Sheldon did a great job, as well as Lopez. Both those guys were on the gas. Nobody could make a mistake tonight, and that's exactly what happened. You know, EJ was there with us, got tangled up with a lapper marker, and unfortunately he was out of it, but I'm pretty stoked with the result that we had.
And to finish off the season with the championship points, I believe that you did take #1 in the end.
Well, it was good that we took #1, but at the end of the day, you know, we got to have good competitive races like we had tonight. Great championship. I want to thank Traxxas, Toyo, and everybody behind this thing that did all the hard work. TV crew, NBC, everybody, thanks for your support.
Most popular event at X Games, the season, the series. It was absolutely awesome. Continues to be that way. And now the Elevation Group coming in, another great partner, Sean.
That's right, the Elevation Group coming in. No stranger to marketing and motorsports. huge partner now for the 2015 season. The future is bright as the lights on the Vegas Strip.
Absolutely. For Sean Sermony, Taylor Snyder, I'm Brian Till. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next year.